Today I'll show you how I made Yuffie's Shuriken from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I started by creating and printing the template, then cutting it into individual pieces. I traced everything onto 5mm foam and cut it out. I also planned where the internal metal rods would go to give the blades stability. I divided the template into smaller parts and traced and cut those out twice. Then I removed the channel where the rod would sit. I glued the grip section onto one side, then cut the blade part multiple times and glued them around the middle layer with the rod. I also cut the thicker blade sections again from 5mm foam and glued them on top. Once the layers were assembled, I used a knife to roughly carve the blade's shape, then refined it with the Dremel until it was smooth and even. I put tape over the blade to make a new template for that part. I transferred this onto Warbler, cut it out, heated it, and molded it onto the blade. I repeated the same process for the smaller lower part here. Next, I cut the details from my original template, traced them onto 2mm foam, cut them out, and glued them in place. I planned where I'd put magnets and soldered holes into the foam, glued the magnets in, and sealed them with an additional 1mm foam layer on top. After that, I drew on some of the blade details, cut them out with a knife, heated the surface with the heat gun, and pressed everything down to smoothen it out. I repeated this entire process until I had 4 identical blades. That was it for part 1 of this.